Getting even a basic understanding of how metabolism works hasn't been easy. The DNP fiasco and the Minnesota starvation experiment pushed people to the absolute brink. But they also painted this picture of metabolism that's stuck around for decades. Speeding up your metabolism with drugs might have been dangerous, but an artificially faster metabolism did seem to lead to weight loss, also blindness and maybe death. And on the flip side, when you do lose a lot of weight really quickly, your metabolism goes into power-saving mode. It slows down. And the thinking was that this could make it harder to lose more weight, which might explain why weight loss is hard to begin with, and why people who lose a lot of weight have trouble keeping it off. In short, faster metabolism, good for losing weight. Slower metabolism, bad for losing weight.
So that's what we knew, but then we got some new data that complicated that.
Data that made scientists wonder whether some of the most basic things they knew about metabolism were wrong. Data that came from somewhere you probably wouldn't expect.
Wake up, America! Are you guys ready to listen, or you want to get fatter and sicker?
That's after the break. Support for the show comes from Upway. So, I didn't know how to ride a bike until I was almost in my 30s. Somehow I missed learning when I was 5, and by the time I was 10, I already felt like I was too old. I finally learned a few years ago when I forced myself to bike to work. It totally transformed my life. I got around quicker, I got more exercise. It was just more fun to go places. But biking can be a tough thing to get into if you aren't in the habit. And that is where Upway comes in. Upway makes e-bikes, so you can still get the benefits of biking without the dread of you in your office. Upway makes it easy. They offer top brands like Specialized or Cannondale and Aventon at up to 60% off retail. Every e-bike is thoroughly inspected by a professional mechanic and comes with a 1-year warranty, so you can ride with peace of mind. You can search by brand or style, book a call with a real human for help, and you can even stop by their showrooms in New York or LA. You can go to upway.co and use code UNEXPLAINABLE to get $150 off your first e-bike purchase of $1,000 or more. That's upway.co, code UNEXPLAINABLE. Go ahead, you won't regret it.
Grocery shopping? Cha-ching. Ordering food? Cha-ching. Filling up on gas? Cha-ching. Commuting? Cha-ching. Using streaming services? Cha-cha-cha-ching. With your RBC Ion Plus Visa, earn 3 times the Avion points on groceries, gas, dining, and more. Cha-ching. Then, redeem your points on gift cards from over 200 brands. Your idea of rewarding happens here. Conditions apply. Visit rbc.com/ioncards.
TD Bank knows that running a small business is a journey, from startup to growing and managing your business. Small Business Advice Hub on their website to provide tips and insights on business banking to entrepreneurs. No matter the stage of business you're in, visit td.com/smallbusinessadvice to find out more or to match with a TD Small Business Banking Account Manager.
Pleasant, unemotional conversation helps digestion.
If you don't know about The Biggest Loser, I guess I kind of envy you, and I'm sorry to be the one telling you about it, but it was this reality TV show where contestants would go to absolutely insane lengths to lose weight.
People go on crash diets. They exercise all day for this prize of $250,000 for whoever can lose the greatest proportion of body weight at the end of the contest.
I guess I'd say the show was somewhere between disturbing, exploitative, and dangerous.
Tracy, honey, do you want me to try to help you?
No.
Huh?
My knees are... Let's go.
In one episode, the contestants are running down the beach, and one of them is really struggling. But everyone's like, "Go on, you can do this," which she eventually does, and then she collapses.
They had to call a helicopter to pick Tracy up off the beach and take her to a hospital. It blew us away because that could have been any one of us.
Yeah, when you look back in the annals of television history, this is going to be a very strange and disturbing chapter.
It's not exactly the place you'd expect to find breakthrough science, but Julia's co-author, Kevin Hall, a nutrition scientist, he thought this might be an opportunity, a way to learn something about metabolism that wouldn't have been possible anywhere else. Mainly because it probably wouldn't have been ethical anywhere else.
Basically, it was a way to induce the kind of weight loss you didn't see in studies, you didn't see in, like, outside of famine and war. And we knew what happened to people with a normal body weight who sort of either starved or fasted, but we didn't know what happened to people who increased their physical activity by a tremendous amount while also basically essentially starving. They were cutting their calories by more than half. And he wondered, what can we learn about metabolism from this natural experiment?
Did they agree to this? Did they agree to be part of a research study?
Yes, yeah, and the show was all in, and the medical advisor on the show was all in. They thought this would be like a really interesting experiment. So it was terrible TV, it was ethically fraught, but it was an interesting insight into what's happening inside the bodies of these people.
This was a pretty metabolisms. They lay down under a plastic hood and they breathed into a tube to get the initial readings. And then at the end of the show, the researchers measured them again, and they found that their metabolisms slowed down pretty dramatically, which wasn't really shocking.